Greetings, everyone. My name is Muhammad Faiz Krisnadi, student in International Relations Department in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. In these special occasions, I will present my paper entitled Student Perception Towards Stigmatization of Islamic Conservative Group, especially in Indonesia. Here we go. The presentation outline would be: first is introduction, the second is literature review, the third is research method, the fourth is result, the fifth is discussion, and the last is conclusions. So we move to introductions. As we know that Indonesia has billion citizens who come from the different background, including race, ethnicity, culture, language, skin color, and even a religion. And discuss about religion, Indonesia is the biggest and the largest Muslim country in the world. Hence, it makes Indonesia have a various Islamic group uh, from the traditional until the modern one. And it also makes Indonesia, by those background identity, Indonesia is nominated as multicultural state. In terms of educations, Indonesian government have a role to facilitate its students to learn about the religion, especially for those who study in private Islamic university. According to Kosasi, he states that the extreme group of Islamic movement will affect the perception of people because, as we can see, that the action that did by the particular group on behalf of Islam, it can be affect the identity and the stigmatization in Islamic and in other Islamic groups. In other side, Borum explained that extremism usually used to refer to a particular political ideology that take the different society values and even the society principle. So the research questions would be: how do the student perceive Islamic conservative group? Then what factors that influence the student view towards Islamic conservative group? And the last is, what is the student perception towards stigmatization of group and its reason? We move to literature review. According to Al-Hawamleh, about the definition of conservative, the existence of the previous study that examined about belief of religious defined that it is actually something impalpable that part comes from the human thinking about the discourse of the morality, the right or the wrong. But on the other hand, according to Kosasi and Firmansyah, they mention that the activities that did by the extreme group of Islamic movement will raise the particular perception towards the student, especially around the world. So in this paper, or this research study uses the quantitative method to describe the student perception towards the issue of stigmatization of Islamic conservative group. The study target population was 45 students of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta student batch 2018. The researcher target this population because as a sophomore student or the second year student, uh, the first student in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, they have been learned for about 1 year about the Islamic studies in general. The researcher distribute the questionnaire presented on Google Form with the combination of open-ended and closed-ended questions. This the researcher use this combination because it will give a more understanding comprehensively. Then we will talk about the result. First is about the respondent about perception of stigmatization toward Islamic conservative group. From the 46, the respondent that have been available to fulfill the form, we can mapping that 45.7% the participant choose the neutral option about their understanding about uh, ICG or Islamic conservative group, and around the 43.5% believe that media or mass media affect their basic understanding about uh, the Islamic conservative group, and about the 26%, the participant disagreed that the movement is related to violence or extreme activity. About the 45%, the participant disagreed the role of their course that have been chosen in their university where they have studied is not playing a significant role towards their opinion about Islamic conservative group. And about the 34.8% believe that people who belong to Islamic conservative group will not be easily accepted in the society, or people who become their member. Around 34%, the participant agreed that the influence of their environment uh, it is shape their thinking about Islamic conservative group. And the last is around 33.5%, the participant believe that Islamic conservative group is often being stigmatized as extreme group in Indonesia. And the second result is about the respondent opinion about Islamic conservative group in Indonesia. First is uh, when the participant being asked about their general opinion, they answer Islamic conservative group is Islamic group that want to defend Islamic textual or Islamic values. And then when they being asked about the views toward uh, views towards the people who join this kind of group, mostly they answer that Islamic conservative group is closed group and are reluctant to accept new views from the other parties or the others community. And the last is uh, about when they're asked about the reason why Islamic conservative group is being stigmatized in the society, uh, they answer that uh, because the violence actions they did on behalf of belief and religion. In this context is usually people call us jihadists. Okay, then we move to the discussions. So from the result in the previous slide, we have 4 point discussions. First is uh, there is a lot of students in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta as Islamic private university, especially batch 2018. Uh, they still have no certain understanding about the Islamic conservative group itself, where we know that the batch 2018 as a sophomore student, they have been learn about Islamic studies for about 1 year in their first year in university. The second point is regarding to the factors that influence the students' views towards Islamic conservative group. Most participants reported that the main influencing factors is media. And the third point is the terrorism and violence acts are the two contributing factors why the group is often being stigmatized by the society. And the last point is uh, from the three point discussions above, it is in accordance with the study by Borum in 2012. In this case, or in this context, Borum focuses on the social factors that drive a movement, which Borum state that there are three main factors or three theories about the social movement that he delivers in in his paper, and the most influential is about the social movement. In sociologically, the collective movement will raise a particular effect to the others. Then finally, uh, the conclusions. So from our discussions in the previous slide, it can be concluded that the present study has surveyed the portrayal of the stigmatization of Islamic conservative group as perceived by Indonesian undergraduate students. It can be concluded that there are no certain understanding, yet there are also no clear understanding about the terms of conservatism itself, especially in our current society. According to the result of the study, that as I mentioned in the previous slide, it is recommended that the further studies might be focused on the qualitative elements to support the data gained from the survey. As we can see that uh, my study that I have been explained in the previous slide is mostly focused on the quantitative element about the statement uh, that the participant agree or disagree about the Islamic conservative group itself. Okay, this is uh, I made the finish of these presentations. Thank you for watching this video and see you in other occasions. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.